on data analytics. Uh, so good evening to everyone. Okay, so uh, today we will discuss about the confirmatory factor analysis as well as the structure equation modeling. So before starting the session, uh, you have already learned about the various multivariate statistical technique as well as the various descriptive statistical technique. Like Vishal sir already covered various technique like regression, correlation, ANOVA, t-test, as well as the exploratory factor analysis. So if we talk about the confirmatory factor analysis, basically it is a multivariate data analytics technique, or basically we can say it is a high level statistical technique. So obviously each and every statistical technique we can use to solve certain problem, and there are some purpose to use this particular technique. So as name suggests, confirmatory factor analysis. So simply we use the particular confirmatory factor analysis technique to confirm the measurement scale, or simply to validate the particular measurement model. Okay, so in the exploratory factor analysis, you have already extract certain factors. Okay, so obviously there are certain items we need to be identify how many number of factors we can frame, and which particular item can we belong a particular factors. Okay, so I think exploratory factor analysis concept is clear to all of you. Okay, so can anyone respond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so uh, Vishal sir already shared the data set. Uh, in which particular data set we can apply the confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, so before starting the practical session, there are some theoretical portion. So we need to be understand what is the exploratory factor analysis, what are the various statistics we can use in the particular confirmatory factor analysis, and what are the basic difference between exploratory factor analysis and the confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, because if you want to develop any kind of measurement scale, so definitely firstly you need to be use the exploratory factor analysis with the particular literature review, past literature review. You need to be identify various items, and you need to be group this particular item in certain factors. Okay, now you need to be validate your particular measurement scale. So for the validation purpose, you need to be apply confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, so there are three purpose to apply the particular confirmatory factor analysis. First, to confirm the particular items or particular factors which measure the particular aspect. Second, we can able to uh, identify the reliability as well as the validity of the particular measurement scale, or particular construct which we can use in the particular measurement scale. Okay, then we can apply the structure equation modeling. Okay, so obviously in the if you want to develop any kind of measurement skill, it is a must you need to be apply the EFA as well as the CFA. Okay, so now I let me share my screen. Okay, so my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me start with particular research. Okay, so me and Vishal sir and Pandya sir publish a particular research paper titled Tourist Motivation Toward Destination Visit Intention Post Pandemic Skill Development and Validation. So basically in this particular paper we have developed a measurement scale. Okay, basically this particular measurement scale based on understand the motivation of tourists toward the destination visit intention post pandemic. So we need to be identify the various motivational factors which determine the visit intention of the particular tourist in a destination. Okay, so how we can identify the factors, and basis of this particular factor we need to be develop a measurement scale. So in this particular paper we have collect certain literature. Basis of the literature review we can identify various items. Okay, and we can apply EFA. After that we have applied the confirmatory factor analysis technique, then we can propose a particular measurement scale. Okay, so here you can able to see, suppose you want to develop a scale. Okay, so firstly you need to be apply EFA. So with the EFA we can identify the number of factors. Okay, so in this particular EFA technique we can identify or extract seven particular six factors. Okay, after that for determine the reliability and convergent validity we need to be apply the confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, so after the confirmatory factor analysis some item can be deleted. Okay, so we can develop a particular more robust measurement scale. Okay, which are validate in particular different geographic boundary as well as the particular some other conditions. Okay, after that we need to be analyze the discriminant validity. So with the help of CFA we can able to measure the discriminant validity. So this is the procedure or particular use of the particular confirmatory factor analysis technique. Okay, so it is a simple examples. We will share this particular paper to all of you. You can read this particular paper and you can able to understand how we can apply this particular EFA as well as the CFA statistical technique to develop any kind of measurement scale. Okay, so now, if we talk about the CFA, okay, CFA basically it is a multivariate statistical procedure that is used to test how well the measures variable represent the number of construct. Okay, so you are already know there are certain uh, kind of technique like univariate data analytics technique, bivariate data analytics technique, as well as the multivariate statistical technique. Okay, so if you talk about the univariate, simply you can apply a chi-square test or maybe a t-test, z-test. Okay, whenever you talk about the bivariate statistical technique, so simply you can use correlation. Okay, as well as the regression analysis, simple regression analysis. But whenever you talk about the multivariate, it simply means there are more than two variables in which particular variable we need to find out the relationship. Okay, so obviously in the confirmatory factor analysis there are number of items or factors. Okay, so we need to be understand the relationship between the particular items and factors, and we need to be group this particular items into the different factors. Okay, so all kind of multivariate data analysis technique, there are more than two variables. Okay, so like CFA, okay, EFA, structured equation modeling, PLS. These are the basically we can say it is a multivariate statistical technique. Now, confirmatory factor analysis and exploratory factor analysis are similar technique. Why we can say it is a similar? Because all the particular both the particular technique explore certain factors and uh, group the particular item into a certain factors. Okay. Now, confirmatory factor analysis researchers can specify the number of factors required in the data and which major variable is related to the which latent variable. So, in the EFA technique, we are not able to decide the number of factors which you want in their study. But in the confirmatory factor analysis, in the basis of the past research, we can able to uh, decide the number of factors. Okay, and number of items can be grouped in a particular factors or construct. Okay, so this is the basic difference. So that why we can say explorative factor analysis is a something simply we can say it is explore certain items as well as the group these items into the certain factors. So we can determine the various factors which determine the certain kind of issue or problem in the uh, hypothetical results. Okay, if we take certain example. But in the confirmatory factors, we can predetermine the number of construct as well as the items. Okay, we only need to validate this particular items and factors and develop a scale. So lastly, confirmatory factor analysis is a tool that is used to confirm or reject the measurement theory. So definitely, if your model is good fit, okay, it is the validity as well as the reliability is good, then definitely we can say the particular measurement theory is confirmed. Okay, but the particular goodness of it or maybe the discriminant or convergent validity is not up to the mark, then definitely we can say the particular measurement scale as well as the theory is not perfect. Okay, or basically there are some more items or construct we need to be add, or maybe there are some uh, issue in the particular theory building part. Okay, so now we will discuss about the general purpose procedure, how we can use the particular EFA technique. Okay, so firstly we need to be define the individual construct. Okay, as I have earlier said, in the particular CFA technique, we can predetermine the number of constructs. Okay, so with the help of past research, we can able to define the individual construct. Okay, or uh, during the particular data collection stage or pre-test stage, we can able to define the individual construct. Or sometime if you already applied the EFA technique, then definitely we can have certain kind of individual construct. Okay, that why we can say before applying the confirmatory factor analysis, you need to be apply the exploratory factor analysis whenever you develop any scale. But suppose if you want to use a structure equation modeling technique in your research paper, then you need to be apply confirmatory factor analysis, because you need to be uh, measure the reliability as well as the validity of this particular measurement model. Okay, then you can able to apply the structure equation modeling. Suppose your measurement model is not reliable or not valid, then definitely there is no use of applying the structure equation modeling, because it will not produce the good result. Okay, so there are some precondition to apply the EFA as well as the CFA in your research work. Okay, developing the overall measurement model. Okay, so with the help of certain individual construct, we can develop a overall measurement model or theory. So obviously in this any measurement skill, there are uh, five construct or maybe six construct or maybe 10 construct. It depends on the particular category of research or which is of the past research which is already done by various researchers in this particular topic. So we should consider the concept of unidimensionality between construct error variance and within construct error variance. Okay, so unidimensionality simply we can say a particular items or construct must be belong to a particular single factors. Okay, but suppose you have already learned about the explorative factor analysis, then you in this particular time you can observe a particular item can be belong to more than one factors. Okay, so basically we can say there is a multiple dimensionality in a particular items. Okay, so suppose particular price items uh, can be part of the particular attitude as well as the particular behavioral intention. Okay, so definitely the particular one item can be influence the two particular construct. But if you talk about the CFA analysis, the particular single item can be belong or represent only one construct. Okay, this is the particular advantage of the CFA. Okay. So in the particular EFA, suppose a particular item can be belong to two construct, then you can basically use this particular item in a one construct basis of your uh, basis of the past research knowledge, or maybe uh, your understanding toward the particular construct as well as the item is depend on the researcher. A second criteria, the particular factor loading is high. Okay, in the particular factor, then you can keep this particular item in in that particular factors. Okay, but in the exploratory factor analysis, there is no issue of the uh, bidimensionality or multiple dimensionality. Okay, and we can assess in the measurement model validity. So I have already told we need to be assess the validity as well as the reliability of the particular construct as well as the measurement skill. So with the help of CFA, we can able to measure. Okay. So before whenever we apply any kind of statistical technique, there are certain assumption. Okay. So we need to be fulfill this particular assumption, then we can able to apply certain theory. So there are certain assumption which we need to be understand while we are going to apply CFA technique. So basically, we need to be assess the multivariate normality. So we can say simple particular data must be follow the normal distribution. Okay. If particular data is not follow the normal distribution, then definitely we are not, the particular data is not sufficient, or we are not, we can say the precondition is not fulfilled by the particular data, or even all kind of multivariate statistical technique normality criteria must be fulfilled. Second, a sufficient sample size. So obviously, whenever you apply any kind of multivariate data analysis, data must be large enough. Okay. So if you go to the theory, then simply you can able to understand greater than 30, we can say it is a large sample. But in the multivariate statistical technique, okay, the large sample simply must be greater than 200 or 300 or maybe 400. Okay, or there are certain criteria to identify the number of uh, respondent we need to be select. There are certain criteria. Okay. Next, primary model specification. So in the CFA data analysis, you have already developed a particular model. Okay, you have already know about the various construct as well as the number of items. So if you have particular this particular model specification, then it is easy to apply the CFA technique. Next, data must come from the random sampling. Okay, so obviously, if your data belong to the comes from the random sample category, then definitely it will follow normal distribution, or there is less chance of the common method bias, because it is a very big problem in current time of research, and all the particular good quality journal ask whether you uh, assess the common method bias. Okay, so you need to be produce the common method bias result in your research paper. Okay, so obviously that by we need to focus on uh, simple random sampling we can use in the data collection process. So if suppose if some time, if time left, then we can focus, we can also focus on the common method bias, how we can uh, measures or analyze the common method bias. Okay. Now there are certain terminology or key terms we can use in the particular confirmatory factor analysis. Okay, so all theory basically is systematic set of cause relationship that provide the comprehensive explanation of the phenomena. So obviously, whenever you develop any theory, there are certain variables, and all the particular variable have certain kind of uh, causal relationship. Okay, there are some factor independent factor category or dependent factor category. Okay, but in the particular CFA analysis, basically all the particular factors belong to the independent category, because in the particular CFA analysis we cannot able to identify the causal relationship, cause and effect relationship. But in the SEM technique, so basically we can identify the cause and effect relationship. Okay, same the regression analysis. And the next model specifies set of dependent relationship that can be used in the test to the theory. So basically these are the theory part. So I will not take much time to explain this particular theory. Yeah, we will share this particular document to all of you. You can read this particular uh, Word document. You can able to understand the basics of the CFA analysis. Okay. So if we talk about the CIP diagram or measurement theory, so this type of diagram we can produce in the CFA data analytics. So obviously there are some latent construct, observed variant, there are some error terms as well as the covariance. So in this particular diagram, you can easily understand uh, what is the covariance. Okay, so basically covariance produce the relationship between the two construct. Okay, latent construct. Then latent construct simply all the particular construct. Okay, uh, in this particular measurement model, simply we can say it is a latent construct. Observed variant simply a particular number of items who belong a particular construct. We can say it is a observed variant, and each and every observed variant associated with certain kind of measurement error. So whenever you create a particular CFA diagram, you need to be uh, you need to be use this particular covariance, latent construct, observed variant as well as the error. Okay. So whenever you apply CFA, there are certain statics produced in the particular CFA statistical technique. So, so in the particular CFA, several statistical tests are used to determine how well the model fit to the data. So firstly, we will discuss about the absolute fit indices. So basically, absolute fit indices determine how well the priori model fit. Okay. So basically, there are certain statistics through we can able to understand the particular model is fit model or not fit model. So there are some statistics like chi-square test, RMSEA, GFI, AGFI, RMR, SMR. These particular statistics you need to be put in your research paper. Okay, while you are writing a particular research paper, you need to be mention this particular statistics in your research paper. Okay, so basically determine it basically provide a particular measurement model is a fit model or not fit model category. Okay, so okay, so each particular statistics have certain produce some value. So we need to be understand the threshold value of this particular measures or statistics. So as per the Human Bentel, basically the chi-square upon degree of freedom, which is also known as CMIN upon degree of freedom, must be less than 3. Okay. Suppose if your chi-square upon degree of freedom value is more than 5, then definitely we can say the particular model is not a fit model. Okay. So you need to be delete some items, or maybe you need to be add some item to uh, consider to basically consider a particular model is a fit model category. Okay, and CFI simply means okay, comparative fit index. Okay, so comparative fit index value should be greater than zero point 0.9 is good. Okay, and if the particular CFI value is greater than 0.95, it is a great. Okay, Similarly, GFI, goodness of fit index, the threshold value basically 0.95, greater than 0.95 is great. Okay, so various researchers also say if the particular GFI value is greater than 0.9, it is also acceptable. Similarly, AGFI, adjusted goodness of fit index, the value should be greater than 0.80, can be considered as a good fit model category. SRMR, standard root mean error residual values should be less than 0.09. Okay, so in the particular practical part, we will identify these particular measures and statistics, and you need to be compare the particular measures result with the threshold value. Okay, and you need to be produce the particular result in your research paper. So after this, we can uh, measure the reliability as well as the validity in the measurement scale. So in the particular CFA, we can identify the composite reliability or discriminant validity. Okay, so if we talk about the construct validity, there are three type of validity we need to be assessed in the CFA. First is the face validity, second is the convergent validity, last one is the discriminant validity. So face validity simply we can say during the pre-testing stage, you can send the particular questionnaire to the various researchers as well as the faculty or language expert. They can assess your particular, they will assess your questionnaire, and they can understand the particular questionnaire having face validity, or there is a very easy to fill the particular data with the help of the particular questionnaire. Okay, so this is kind of the face validity. Convergent validity we can assess with the help of factor loadings, reliability statistics, as well as the variance extracted, average variance extracted. Okay, reliability simply we will produce composite reliability. Okay, there are some formula through we can able to measure the average variance extracted as well as the composite reliability. So convergent validity referred as the extent to which indicator of the specific construct coverage or share the high proportion of variance. Okay, this is the reliability. So there are some value we need to be compare this particular value with the threshold value. Okay, so if we talk about the average variance extracted value must be greater than zero point 0.5. Okay, then we can say there is a convergent validity in the particular measurement scale. Okay, as well as the particular composite reliability value must be greater than 0.7. Okay, suppose if the particular CR value as well as the AB value is more than the threshold value, then we can say the particular measurement scale are reliable. Okay, suppose if we talk about the discriminant validity, for the assessing the discriminant validity, you need to be compare the square root of average variance extracted with the in interconstruct correlations, square root of the correlation in the particular uh, model. So square root of the average variance extracted must be greater than the interconstruct correlations. Okay, so if suppose square root of average variance extracted greater than the construct correlation, then we can say there is a discriminant validity in the model. Okay, so this is the theoretical part. Okay, if we explain this particular theory, what it will take a lot of time. So without wasting time, we will go to the practical part. In the particular practical part, we can also explain certain concept, okay, as well as the certain statistics which associated in the confirmatory factor analysis technique. Okay, so you have already Vishal sir already shared a particular data set. So I will suggest if you open this particular data set as well as uh, um, uh, I will tell you how to run this particular CFA technique in your data set. So you can able to understand how to use or apply this particular statistical technique in this particular data set. Okay. So just I open my data set. Okay. So this is the data set. One second. Okay, so basically the data set belong to the particular study. The study basically it is a factor determine the e-learning quality. So researcher want to develop a particular measurement scale, okay, for determining the e-learning quality. They basically identify the various factors which determine the e-learning quality. So with the help of the previous research, researcher identify 18 number of items which basically determine the e-learning quality. So now there is a 18 number of items. So researcher need to be apply the EFA technique. Okay, so in the EFA technique, uh, after applying the EFA technique, they can able to identify the five number of factors. Okay, so all this particular 18 items uh, belong to this particular five construct or five factors. Okay, so basically with the help of theory we can also identify the number of construct, a number of item belong to the certain construct, as well as you can apply the EFA technique. It depend on the particular uh, situation. If the particular research are very noble research, then definitely you need to be apply EFA, because the past data is not much available to uh, identify the number of items as well as the factors which determine certain kind of behavior or maybe certain kind of adaptivity of new technology or maybe other things maybe. Okay, so this is the particular theoretical construct, simply we can say. So we can predetermine the theory part. So we can identify there are six number of factors which determine the e-learning quality. Okay, so these particular construct are course content, design structure, transparency in assessment, technical know-how, as well as the engagement. Okay, so now the problem is we need to be validate this particular scale or particular model, ki whether this particular model is a uh, reliable model, okay, or maybe it is a good fit model. Then we can confirm, say the particular measurement scale are valid as well as the reliable. Okay, if you have some question you can ask. Okay, now you are able to understand the data set. Okay, so in this particular data set, we have mentioned the 18 number of items which belong to the transparency, okay, technical know-how, uh, design, content, okay, engagement, as well as the design structure. It is clear to all of you? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
Okay. So I hope you have already installed the Amos software. How many of you installed the Amos software?
Yes, sir. Installed.
Installed. Okay. So now this is the SPSS window. So in the SPSS, you simply need to go to the analyze tab. Okay. So in the analyze, at the last, you can able to find out the IBM, SPSS, AMOS. Okay, so simply you need to be click this particular IBM, SPSS, AMOS. So this type of window will appear. So in this particular window, you will find out number of boxes. Okay, so obviously there are some uh, use of this particular boxes. So you need to be understand the basic functionality of this particular symbols as well as the boxes. So in this particular head, there are certain uh, unobserved variable. Okay, this is square. Basically, we can say it is a observed variable category. Okay, so in this particular if you drag this particular or you then you can able to uh, create some measurement error as well as the latent variable as well as the uh, construct. Okay, indicator simply we can say this is the path or particular arrow, a single-handed arrow or simple. This is the double-handed arrow. So basically, suppose you want to draw a covariance, so you need to use the double-headed arrow. Okay, this is the basically if you want to add a particular irritant or in the particular latent variable, then you can use this particular uh, box. Okay, and whenever you create a particular diagram with the help of this particular finger, okay, as well as the hand, you can able to select the particular diagram, okay, as well as the item. So okay, in this particular analyze property, you can select the particular box, okay, which particular output you want to produce. So in the particular output box, there is some statics or some estimate. So you need to be click in this particular checkbox, then it will produce this particular result. Okay, so one by one we will explain all this particular uh, estimate or particular properties of this particular uh, various box. So so one second. So here you can able to see the particular list of variables in the particular data set. So simply you need to be click this particular uh, list variables. So you can find out there are 80 number of variables, and basis of the previous research you can identify the particular theory. So simply you need to be draw the particular path diagram or simply uh, diagram. So you can select this particular latent variable or add an indicator to a latent variable. Okay, so here you need to be click in this particular box, and you need to be click number of time. Okay, suppose you want to add 3 latent variable. Okay, so simply you need to be click 3 times in this particular box. Uh, okay, so you can able to rotate this particular whole diagram with the help of this particular rotation indicator. Okay, so simply you can select this rotate uh, indicators items, and you can click this diagram, it automatically do. Suppose you can number of time click, it will automatically rotate. Okay. Now in the again you can select the particular draw latent variable. Okay, now in the second number of 3 items basically belong a particular construct, that is okay, this is called technical know-how. Okay, so simply you can click here and need to be clicked 3 times, then it will add 3 latent, 3 of the variable. Okay, again you can rotate this particular construct as well as the items. So basically it is very easy when you practices how to draw a particular diagram. It is very easy to draw a particular diagram. Okay. Now there is a particular 5 items which uh, represent the design structure. Okay, so simply again you need to be select this draw latent variable and click, and you need to be click 5 times in this particular diagram. Okay. Now next there is a course content. Okay, so in the course content there is a 5 items. Okay, so we need to be select again this particular draw latent variable, and you need to be click and 5 times you need to be click 5 times to draw the latent variable, right? Okay, so now suppose you want to select all this particular diagram, simply you need to be click this hands. Okay, so it automatically select all the particular diagram. Suppose you want to move this particular diagram, then you need to be select this particular move object. Okay, so you click move object, it will automatically you can drag this particular all the diagram in a anywhere in this particular box. Okay, and lastly there are 2 items which belong to the engagement. So again you need to be select this drag a latent items and click 2 times in this particular, and simply you can click this rotation, then this particular diagram is prepared. Then you can deselect this particular uh, diagram with the help of this particular deselect all object uh, sign. Okay, so now we can draw a particular path. Okay, and in this particular path you can easily see there is error term. Okay, and there is a latent variable as well as there are some uh, measured variable. Okay, so as in this particular theory part we have already shown you. Okay, so in this particular there is a latent construct. One second. Okay, so you can easily compare this diagram to that diagram. Okay, so if we talk about the circle, it is a basically latent construct. Okay, if you talk about the square, then basically we can say it is a observed variant. Okay, or simply we can say it is a individual items, and the small circle basically we can say it is a irrational. So now you need to be create the nomenclature of this particular latent variable as well as the observant variable. So what you need to be do, you simply drag this particular list of variables in the diagram box. Okay, so simply you need to be click particular variables and simply drag to the box. Okay, so you can easily move this particular variables items variable into this particular part diagram box. It is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we drag all the particular item in this particular diagram, part diagram. Okay, so now what we need to do? Now you need to be create the name of this particular latent construct, okay, or latent variable. So how you can put the name in this particular latent variable? Simply double click this particular circle, and here you can find out the different tab: text, parameter, color, format, or visibility. So simply you need to be write the name of this particular latent variable in the variable name box. So simply you can uh, simply put it is a TRA. Okay, TRA simply represent the transparency in assessment. Okay, now next, again you need to be click the second circle. Here you need to be write the name. You can write the full name as well as you can write the abbreviation form of this particular latent variable name. Okay, so then we can say technical know-how, or simply suppose you want to copy this, and simply you can put here. Okay, so it is also, okay, so it will take the particular whole name in this particular diagram, but for the understanding purpose we can simply use abbreviation form. Okay, now again in the third circle you can provide the name of the latent variable like DES, and last one is the engagement. Okay, so we have provided the name of all the particular object variable as well as the latent variable, or simply we can say we will provide the name of the construct as well as the individual items. Okay, now there is a error term, so we need to be also provide the name of the error term. So there are two way to uh, put the name of this particular error term circle. So simply you need to be click this particular small circle, and here you can put the name of this particular error term like E1, E2, E3, or E4. Okay, secondly you need to be go to this particular plugins tab. Here you can able to find out the various options. Okay, so in this particular options you can find out the name unobserved variance. Okay, so simply click the name unobserved variance. It automatically take the particular name of the errors like E1, E2, E3, E4 in all the particular error estimation. Okay, now basically in the particular CFA we need to be identify the covariance between the construct or between the latent variable. So all this TRA, TKS, DES, COC, ENG are latent variable. So we need to be draw a covariance matrix. Okay, so again there are two way to draw the covariance. So first, either you can select this particular double-headed arrow. Okay, then you can able to draw this particular covariance between the construct. Okay, or suppose if you not use this particular double-headed arrow, then you would simply need to be go to the plugins. Here you can find out the draw covariance. So how you can use this particular draw variance? Firstly, you need to be select the particular latent variable where you want to create the covariance. So you need to be click this particular single finger or now you need to be select the particular latent variable. Okay, so we have select all the particular 5 latent variable and simply need to be click this particular draw covariance. Okay, so it automatically take. So now we can remove this particular covariance which we have created in the manually. Okay, now you can see the particular diagram is looking very hybrid. Okay, so you can select this particular, change the shape of the object. Okay, so click this and simply you can move this particular uh, covariance, or you can able to change the shape of this particular uh, diagram. Suppose you want to increase the shape of this TRA box, then simply you need to be click and you can increase or decrease the shape or size of this particular latent variable box as well as the observed variable box. So now the diagram, now you need to be deselect this. So with the help of this particular deselect all object uh, symbol, you can able to deselect all this particular. Okay, so now with this particular touch up or simple stick, you can able to touch up this particular diagram. So it will look great if you use this particular uh, stick. So now the particular diagram has been created. So basically in the Amos software, you can firstly you need to be draw the diagram. Okay, after that particular diagram, you can select the particular analysis property box. Okay, so simply you need to be click this analyze property. So in this particular estimate tab, you can find out the uh, various choice. Okay, so in this particular discrepancy, you will find out the maximum likelihood. Okay, general least square unweighted. So simply you need to be select the maximum likelihood. Okay, because whenever you apply the CFA, so basically you apply the maximum likelihood method to identify the particular uh, uh, standardized weight as well as the particular discriminant validity and the convergent validity. Okay, now you don't need to be select numeric, it is default. Basically you don't need to be change any value in this particular numeric bias. Okay, as well as bootstrap or random. Simply you need to be go to the output tab. Here you can find out certain uh, parameters. Okay, so in this particular statics or parameter, you need to be select certain statics which you want to uh, use in your analysis purpose. So simply you need to be click minimize the history, indirect, direct, and total effect. Suppose you want to identify the mediation effect in this particular model, then you need to be select the indirect, direct, and total effect. Otherwise you don't need to be select this particular box. But you need to be you need to be produce the standardized estimate. Okay, like a exploratory factor analysis, there is some you will find out some factor loading, but in this particular CFE you basically find out the standardized estimate. Basically it is a factor loading of the particular items in a particular factors. Now you need to be click covariance estimate as well as the correlation of the estimate, because whenever you want to identify the discriminant validity, you need to be compare the average variance extracted with the correlations between the construct. Okay. Now you need to be click the critical ratio. Why you need to be select this critical ratio? Because critical ratio provide the uh, whether we can identify whether the particular model is fit model category or unfit model category. So basically, if you click critical ratio, it will produce the chi-square upon degree of freedom, GFI, uh, uh, TFI value, RMSE value. Okay, and you can simply click modification in indices. Okay, so simply you need to be click this particular box, and after selection of this particular box, simply you need to be minimize this window. Now you need to be run this particular analysis. Okay, so simply here you can find out the calculate estimate. Okay, so simply you need to be click this calculate estimate button. Okay, so as you click this calculate estimate, it will ask you to save a particular diagram in your desktop. Okay, so you can select a particular location where your data set is available. Okay, so suppose my data set is available in this particular uh, folder. So here you can provide the name. Suppose I provide the name CFA analysis. Click save. After save this particular diagram, the particular analysis has been done. So here you can see the particular uh, two type of output is appear. First is a input path, second one is a output path. So whenever you create a particular diagram, only input path is activated. Okay, but now after the click this calculate estimate, the output path diagram is activated. Okay, so in this output part, whenever you click output path, this type of result you will find. So here you can find out unstandardized estimate and standardized estimate. So in the particular CFP technique, basically you need to be use standardized estimate to identify or determine the convergent validity as well as the discriminant validity. So always use standardized estimate. Okay. So this result is appear in this particular font diagram. Okay. So now we will explain the meaning of this particular value. Okay. And how we can interpret this particular result. Okay. So before interpretation of this result, the first question arises how we can copy this particular diagram, okay, and paste it in the particular Word file. So simply what you need to be do in this particular different boxes, you will find out the copy the part diagram to the clipboard. Okay, so simply you need to be click this copy the part diagram to the clip box uh, option. It automatically copy this particular part diagram. Suppose I want to paste this particular diagram in this particular Word file. So simply what you need to do, simple Control and V, or simply you can right click and paste this particular diagram. So this particular diagram uh, automatically copy and paste in your Word document. Okay, so it is clear to all of you how you can copy the particular path diagram uh, from Amos software to the Word file.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, here you can find out the view text. Okay. So whenever you click view text, you directly reach to the Amos output window. Okay, so in this Amos output window, you will find out the various uh, statistical parameters. Okay, so here you can find out the node for model. So in the model, you will find out the chi-square value, degree of freedom, okay, as well as the probability value. So you can find out the probability value 0.000. So basically, we can say uh, the model is a fit model category because the probability label or simply it is a significant. Second, in the estimate, you will find out the regression weight. Basically, we can say it is a estimate. Next, you will find out the standardized regression weight. Okay. So suppose if you not select this particular standardized regression weight, suppose in this particular analyze property, if you uncheck this particular standardized estimate, then definitely you will not find out this unstandardized estimate in the output result. Okay. So whatever you select in this particular output analyze property output tab, it will reflect in the output box. Okay. Now it is clear to all of you. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, estimate, basically we can say it is a standard estimate. So in the particular theory, the standardized regression rate value of each and every individual items must be greater than 0.7. Okay. So in this particular result, you will easily find out all the particular items standardized regression weight is greater than 0.7. Okay, so simply we can say the particular item explain uh, bond. Suppose if we talk about the TRA3, so basically we can say TRA3 explain say 0.778 variance in the particular TRA factors. Okay, or basically we can say TRA3 estimate 0.778 percent in the TRA factor. Now again you will go to down, then you can find out the correlation. So in this basically so the correlation matrix between the construct or between the latent variables. Okay, so with the help of this particular correlation matrix, we can able to identify the discriminant validity in the measurement scale. If we compare this particular correlations with the square root of the average variance extracted. So now here you can see we cannot able to see the average variance extracted as well as the composite reliability. So basically Amos output will not able to provide the average variance extracted value as well as the composite reliability value. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to be manually calculate the average variance extracted as well as the composite reliability. Or second, there is some other particular add-on softwares. You can use this particular software to identify or measure the average variance extracted value of each and every construct as well as the composite reliability value of each and every construct. So now because you suppose you want to identify the convergent validity, so with the help of average variance extracted as well as the standardized regression weight and composite reliability value, you can able to assess the reliability or a particular construct validity of this particular measurement scale. Okay, so now we will understand how we can uh, identify or calculate the average variance extracted. Okay, now before this we can go to the model fit. So in this particular model fit you will find out the model fit summary. So uh, here you can find out the CMIN upon degree of freedom. Basically, it is a chi-square upon degree of freedom. So, as per the particular Hu and Bentel, the cutoff value of the CMIN upon degree of freedom uh, value must be less than 3. We can say it is a great or good. So in my case, the CMIN upon degree of freedom value is 2.142. Basically, it is a less than the threshold value or cutoff value. Then we can say the particular model is a good fit model. Next, we can uh, identify the GFI value, goodness of fit indices. The GFI value is greater than zero point 0.9. In my case, then definitely this criteria also fulfill. Now, if you talk about the CFI value in this particular model is 0.972. It is also greater than zero point 0.9. So this criteria also fulfill. If we talk about the RMSE, root mean square error approximation, the RMSEA value should be less than 0.07. So in this particular case, the RMSEA value is less than 0.062. So it is up to the particular threshold value. That's why we can say the particular model or uh, particular measurement scale or particular model is a good fit model. Okay. So this particular exercise you need to be conduct while you are applying structure equation modeling or you apply confirmatory factor analysis. Okay. So I think now it is clear to all of you. If you have any doubt, then you can ask. Yes.
For error, it shows anything in the output.
Yes. In the output box, you can find out some error term. Okay. So in the variance, you will find out the error term estimate value of the error term. So like E1, E2, E3, E4, you will find out the value of the error in the estimate of this particular error. Okay. So what you need to be use in this particular estimate. So simply you need to be use standardization weight. Okay. This particular table, and you need to be select or use this particular correlation table. Okay. And in the model fit category, simply you need to be pick certain value like CMIN upon degree of freedom value, CFI, AGFI value, suppose you want to take, and CFI value and RMSEA value. Okay. So this particular value you need to put in this particular model fit summary or use in the model fit summary. And this particular value you need to be uh, explain in your research paper. Clear?
Okay,
So
sir.
yeah, suppose if you look this particular research paper, you can easily find out. So in this particular research paper, we can uh, provide this particular. So the output of the CIP indicator, all the indices produce significant results. The value of the CMIN diagram was found as 7.2 in the initial stage. Okay, and the CFI value is 0.9. Okay, RMSCA value is 0.04. So you need to be produce this much of result. Hmm. Now to calculate the ABE value, okay, so there is a particular uh, add-on software or simply package. Uh, you can easily download this particular Excel sheet. Okay, so simply I will. So it basically this particular Excel you can download on this particular website, I think. Maybe there is some problem. Okay, so I will check and will share you. So in
Okay,
this
sir.
particular, so in this particular Excel sheet, you will find out different tab like validity master, okay, two-way interaction. So for the CFA perspective, you need to use this validity master. So basically in this validity master, you will able to calculate the ABE value as well as the uh, composite reliability value. Okay, so what you need to do, simply you need to go to this output box. Okay, in the output box, simply you need to be go to the estimate. In the estimate, you need to find out the standard deviation rate. Simply what you need to do, you need to copy this particular table. Okay, and you need to paste this particular standardized regression rate in this particular table and this particular cell. So simply paste standardized regression rate table in F2. Okay, so simply I paste this particular standard regression rate in this cell. Now it will ask paste correlation table in A2. So in the output box, you need to find out the correlation table. So this is the correlation table. So what you need to do, you need to copy this correlation table. Okay, and you need to paste this correlation table in the this particular cell. Okay, so now you need to be click this red button. After click this red button, you will find out the ABE value or CR value. Okay, so here you can find out the CR value of all the particular uh, 5 construct is greater than 0.7. So as per the Boolean um, okay, Vental, you will find out the or maybe formal and liquor. It will the AB value should be greater than 0.05 and the CR value should be greater than 0.7. So in this, in my case, you will easily find out the CR value of all the construct is greater than 0.7 as well as the ABE value is greater than zero point 0.5. So it's definitely we can say the particular measurement scale is a valid. Okay, there is a convergent validity exist in this particular measurement scale. So okay, it is clear to all of you. So how you can calculate the convergent validity or identify with the help of uh, standardized regression weight, second one with the help of average variance extracted, and third one is the composite reliability. So you need to be compare this three value with a threshold value, then you can say there is a convergent validity just in this particular measurement model. Okay, suppose if particular construct having ABE value is less than zero point 0.5, so definitely we can say the particular construct is not able to measure it, not appropriate, or it will not able to measure the particular measurement model in a properly. Okay, so maybe you need to be you need to be add some more item in this particular construct, or maybe you can delete some items which standard regression weight is very low. So you can able to increase the ABE value, CR value, as well as the model fit indices value. Okay. So basically this particular data is a refined data. That by this type of result will appear. Otherwise, suppose if you, whenever we collect some data from the primary sources, then you will find out the result is very hazard. Okay, all the particular value is not able to match the cutoff value. Okay, so you need to be define your data. Okay, you need to be identify the outlier in your data. Okay, you need to be check whether there is some missing value in your data set. If there is a missing value, then you need to be randomly or manually put certain value in your missing value category, or you need to be delete this particular respondent in your data file. Okay, or sometime result may be appear this type, so you need to be collect more data. So as per the data sample size increase, then definitely you will get the more robust result or more good result. So it is clear to all of you? Yes or no? So here you can, there is some issue in software. So here you can put the correlation value manually. So simply so okay, suppose you need to put the value correlation between TRA and TKS. Okay, so TRA and TKS. So the correlation value is 0.384. Second, here you need to be the correlation between DES and TKS. TKS and DES 0.813. Mm. Okay, so the correlation is up to mark. Now you need to be put the square root of average variance factor, because it is not in this particular diagonal matrix. Okay, so it is appear. So in the third, so you need to be here you need to produce the square root of the average variance extracted. So how you can put, simply need to click square root of the average variance extracted. Okay, so this is the value. Similarly, you need to be put the square root of the DES. So again, you need to be copy, click square root of the AB value of the DES. Now last, square root of the engagement. So sometime you need to be do some manual work. Okay, so this type of window will appear. Okay, so you need to be copy this window and you can uh, take this particular result in your word file. So now you need to be interpret this particular result. So here you can able to see the CR value is greater than 0.7, then we can say there is a convergent validity. ABA value also greater than 0.5, then we can say the particular measurement model having the convergent validity. Now this particular correlation matrix as well as the square root of the average variance extracted. So in the diagonal matrix, which is bold in nature, simply it is a square root of the average variance extracted. So we need to be compare the correlation between the particular construct with the square root of the average variance extracted. So if the square root of average variance extracted is greater than the uh, correlation between the construct, then we can say in the particular correspondent value, then we can say there is a discriminant validity. So here you can easily see the particular all the particular square root average variance extracted value is greater than the correlation of the between the construct. Okay, so now it is clear to all of you how you can apply CFA analysis in your research work and how you can calculate the average variance extracted value, CR value. I will share this particular Excel sheet to all of you. Okay, so you can simply you need to be paste all this particular uh, correlation table as well as the standardized regression weight table in this particular Excel sheet, and you can find out the discriminant validity as well as the convergent validity in more easy manner.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So any question in this particular CFA technique? No question.
We need time to process
Okay.
such information. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So anybody already apply CFA or maybe uh, try to apply this CFA in near future time period? Okay. So again, I will speedily explain all this particular CFA procedure. Okay, so simply what you need to be click this SPSS file where the data set available. Simply click to the analyze. In the analyze, you will find out the IBM SPSS amount. Simply click to the IBM SPSS amount. So this type of window will appear. In this window, you will find out two output box. But first is the input diagram box, and second one is the output. So in the initial level, input part diagram view activated, so you can use this particular symbol to draw a particular diagram. So there is this diagram, this particular square basically reflect the object variable, or simply we can say it is a unobserved variables, or simply individual items. uh, Circle basically represent the latent variable category. Okay, so with this particular uh, diagram or particular box, you can draw a particular diagram which contain the latent variable as well as the unobserved variable as well as the error term associated in the uh, latent variable, particular unobserved variable. So you can draw this diagram. Again, you need to be uh, click this analyze property. Here you need to be in the estimate part, click to the maximum likelihood, then output, you need to be select the particular uh, statics you need to be required, like correlation estimate, standard regression weight, okay, critical ratio. So suppose if you not click this critical ratio, then you will not able to find out the chi-square upon degree of freedom, CFI value, RMSEA value. Okay, that way you need to be select this particular box. Okay, so after selection of this particular box, simply you need to be click this calculate estimate. After click this calculate estimate, the output view will activated. So in the output view, simply you need to be go to the standard estimate cell. Here in the standard estimate cell, you will find out this and all the value appear in this particular diagram. So simply you can copy this diagram with the help of copy the path diagram to the clipboard symbol. Okay, so simply click this copy the path diagram and simply paste this diagram to the Word file. Okay, so now you need to be click view text portion. In the view text portion, you will find out certain statics. So in the statics, simply need to be click the estimate. Okay, so in the estimate, you will find out the value of the regression weight or standard regression weight. So in this particular CFA category, you need to be use this standard regression weight, as well as you need to be uh, use correlation table. Okay, with the help of this particular standard regression weight and correlation table, you can easily calculate the ABE value and CR value with the help of this particular add-on software or maybe particular Excel sheet. Okay, so it's simple. You can click this Excel add-on file where you can find out the validity master. Simply you need to paste the standard deviation weight in a particular cell as well as the paste correlation, then click the red button, then it will automatically calculate the ABE value as well as the CR value. Clear? So you will easily interpret. So there are some threshold value. You need to be compare all the particular output value with the threshold value. So you need to be understand the ABE value should be greater than 0.5. Okay, CR value should be greater than 0.7, as well as the standard regression weight value must be greater than 0.7. And then we can say there is a convergent validity exist in the model. About the discriminant validity, you need to be compare the square root of the average variance extracted with the correlation between the construct. Okay, so suppose the average variance square root of average variance extracted is greater than the square the correlation between the construct, then we can say there is a discriminant validity exist in this model. Okay, now I think this is clear to all of you. Now move toward the structure equation
Sir, I have
model.
to ask one thing.
Okay, yes.
Sir, in a diagram, the values which appear on arrows, they represent correlation.
Okay, so in this particular diagram, which relate to the latent variable to the unobserved variable, basically it is a standard regression weight. So here you find out 0.88. Okay, you can able to see my cursor.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this value basically it is a standard regression weight value. Okay, so 0.88, 0.85, 0.78, it is a standard regression weight. So suppose you can easily understand. Uh, Simple click to the estimate now. So in the TRA1 and TRA, so TRA1 and TRA, the estimate value is 0.879. So here you can see the estimate value is 0.88 because it will take 2-digit value. Okay, so it is a 0.88. Now TRA2 and TRA. So estimate value between the TRA and TRA2 is 0.853. So it will reflect 0.85. Okay, and TRA3, TRA it is say 0.778. So it is shown 0.78. Okay, so this is the standard estimate value, standard regression rate, or simply we can say. Now this is the covariance. Okay, so whenever you draw diagram, you need to be draw the covariance path. So it is a simply correlation value, covariance value. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so in the correlation, suppose you want to find out the correlation between TRA and TKS. So TRA and the TKS, so you will find out 0.36 or 38. Okay, so it is also reflected in the 0.384. Okay, suppose you need to find out the correlation between TRA and DES, TRA and DES. So it is simply reflect 0.57. In the table you will find 0.565. Okay, so it is a 0.57. So this is the covariance. Simply it is a correlation value, or it is a uh, standardized regression weight value. Okay, single headed arrow simply reflect the standard regression weight value, or on the double headed arrow basically it is a covariance which reflect the correlation value between the construct. Okay, so you can
Okay, sir.
use this value, or maybe you simply copy the particular path output value, which is easy. You can, so sometime in most of the research paper you will find out they will uh, put the diagram. Okay, so if the particular diagram appear, then you don't need to be provide the correlation table in your research paper, or sometime you don't need to be provide the standard regression weight table, because it is a duplication. Okay, so sometime particular reviewer also suggest remove particular standard regression weight table as well as the correlation table, because in this particular diagram it is easily appear the correlation value as well as the standard regression value. Suppose sometime various researchers not copy this diagram to their research paper, then you need to be provide the table of the correlation as well as the standard regression weight. Okay, clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so now now in the SCM, so we have already provided some data set. So again we will open this particular data set. Okay, so in this particular data set there are okay, so this is the model, SCM model. So basically in this model you will find out there are two type of uh, variable. One is the uh, independent variable, and other one is a second dependent variable. So basically SCM model you will find out the causal relationship between the construct, or simply basic difference between the regression or the hierarchical regression, or maybe structure equation modeling. Basically in the regression you will not simultaneously find out the causal relationship between multiple variables, but in the structure equation model you will simultaneously find out the causal relationship between various variable. Okay, so this is the basic difference. That by SCM technique is more robust as well as appropriate for particular model testing perspective. Okay. So in this particular model, you will find out the particular work-family balance, job satisfaction, family satisfaction, and life satisfaction. So simply you need to be frame certain hypothesis. So basically, if you see this diagram, you will easily find out work-family balance positively and significantly influence the life satisfaction, as well as the work-family balance have positive and significant effect on job satisfaction, family satisfaction, and life satisfaction. Okay, so you need to be simply prove this particular hypothesis, whether the work family balance have positive and significant effect on job satisfaction, life satisfaction, and family satisfaction. Okay, or particular we need to be tell this particular structure model. So this particular data set having total 16 items or unobserved variable which represent 4 construct like job satisfaction, family satisfaction, and life satisfaction. Okay, so what you need to do again, you need to be go to the spaces. Okay, simple click file and select new. Again, you need to be draw diagram. So in the job satisfaction, you will easily find there is a 3 unobserved variable. Okay, we have now in the family satisfaction there are 3. Now we can rotate this for diagram. Now third one is the life satisfaction. So again, life satisfaction have 5. Now work family balance. So it also have 5 unobserved variable or particular item. Okay. So simply again you need to be go to this particular variables box. You need to be select this particular items in this unobserved variable. Okay. And okay, now you can put the name like job satisfaction, life satisfaction, family satisfaction, and work family balance. Okay, now you need to be propose the relationship between this particular construct. So obviously, with the help of hypothesis, you will find out there is a positive and significant effect of work family balance on job satisfaction, life satisfaction, and family satisfaction. Okay, and as well as job satisfaction have positive and significant effect on life satisfaction, and family satisfaction also influence the positively and significantly life satisfaction. Okay, so this particular structure model has been built. Clear? Now you need to be select this and provide the regression weight one. Okay, now in this particular latent construct variable, you need to be add some error term. Okay, so now there is we need to be provide the name of this error term. So simply again go to the plugin and click to the name and observe variable. It automatically take the name of this error term. Okay, now again what you need to do, you need to be click this particular analyze property, where you need to be select some uh, output box. Here you need to be click minimize history, standardized estimate, correlation, critical ratio. Okay, what we have done in the CFA analysis, indirect and direct effect if you want. Okay, and click calculate estimate. Again, you need to be save this particular diagram in the, so put the name and save this particular diagram in your folders, any folder. Now here you can need to be the particular output view activated. So here you need to be click this red button output box. The particular value automatically take in this particular box in particular diagram. Then click to the standard estimate. This particular, so the standard regression estimate value, as well as it is also shown the regression estimate value. Okay, so now click to this particular view text where you can find out the value of estimate as well as the model fit. So firstly we will see the value of the model fit category. So here you can easily find out the value of CMIN upon degree of freedom, which is 3.146. So basically it is greater than 3, but it is less than 4. So simply we can say it is a not a very good model, but it is a good model category, because it's the CMIN upon degree of freedom value is less than 4. Again, we will check the value of the GFI. GFI value is 0.882. Okay, so it is close to 0.9, then we will accept this value. Now, if we talk about the CFI value, then the CFI value is 0.955, which is enough greater than 0.9, then it is very good. Now, lastly, we will check the value of the RMSEA. RMSEA value is 0.086, which is near to 0.8, which is sufficient. Okay, suppose if this particular value is greater than 0.8, like value is 0.9 or maybe 0.1, then definitely there is some issue. But close to 8, 0.8, it is good, there is no issue. Now go to the estimate where you can find out the standard regression weight of particular items with the construct. Okay, and you will find out the correlation value. I click correlation or not. Okay, and here you can find out the so now this is the estimate. Basically it is a regression weight, and this one is the standard regression weight. Okay, so if we look this particular diagram, and now okay, so in this particular diagram you will see the estimate value in the job satisfaction and work family balance. So simply we can say the work family balance have positive and significant relationship with the job satisfaction. Okay, the regression weight is 0.164 and p value is 0.000. Simply it is a less than 0.005. So simply we can say the particular hypothesis is accepted. So simply we can say work family balance have positive and significant influence on the job satisfaction. Suppose if the estimate value is negative in nature, then simply we can say the work family balance have negative and significant impact on the job satisfaction. Okay, but it's shown the positive sign, then simply we can say work family balance have positive and significant effect on job satisfaction, or it positively and significantly influence the job satisfaction of the employee. Okay, so we need to be check the p value. Okay, so now if we talk about the second hypothesis, we have framed this second hypothesis like work family balance have positive and significant effect on family satisfaction. Okay, So here you can able to see the estimate or regression weight value is 0.409 and the p value is 0.000. Then we can say the particular hypothesis is accepted because the p value is less than 0.005. Okay, so we can simply say as the work family balance have positive and significant effect on the family satisfaction. Now, third hypothesis is basically uh, life satisfaction have work-life balance have positive and significant effect on life satisfaction. So here you can see the p-value is 0.827. Okay, so the p-value is greater than 0.005, then we can say this hypothesis is not accepted. So simply we can say there is work-family balance does not have positive, does not have significant influence or effect on the life satisfaction. Okay. Similarly, if we compare the hypothesis like uh, life satisfaction, job satisfaction, positive and significant influence the life satisfaction. Okay, this is estimate one. So this hypothesis is also not accepted. So you can also use this particular standard regression weight to determine the hypothesis result. So here you can there can this 5 we can take. So we it will show on the uh, work family balance have positive and significant effect on job satisfaction. The standard regression weight value is 0.387. Okay, so suppose for the output perspective, so you need to be mention this particular table in your research paper. Basically, it's on the hypothesis result. Okay, so what you need to uh, put in your research paper, simply you need to put the uh, model fit value like CMIN, CFI, IGF, GFI value, RMSE value, as well as the in the estimate you need to be put the regression weight value with the p value and CRSE value. Also, you need to be provide the discriminant validity as well as the convergent validity table. Okay, so we have already learned how we can calculate the ABE value and CR value. Okay. So suppose if you want to calculate the ABE and CR value in this particular, then again you need to be what you need to be do. You need to select this particular. Okay. Or firstly you need to be apply the CFA, then you can apply the uh, structure equation modeling. Okay, so basically CFA produce the result like discriminant validity as well as the convergent validity. Then you can apply the structure equation modeling in your research work or research model. Okay, so basically it is a very complex process. Okay, so it will take some time. Suppose if you uh, or first time apply this particular technique, then there is some issue. Okay, so don't worry, you can apply this. If you face any kind of issue or problem, you can ask me anytime. Or suppose if you have any data or you want to run the CFA or structure equation modeling, so we will also uh, done the result analysis, and you can able to understand what is the result and how we can improve the result. Okay, because there are some issue in the data set or data file. So firstly we need to be understand the actual uh, characteristic of the particular data file or data set. or we need to be solve the outlier, missing value, or maybe other things in your data set. Okay, so you can easily copy this diagram with the help of this copy the part diagram box and put this to your Word file. It is clear to all of you? Yes.
Yes, sir.
थोड़ा बहुत तो समझ में आया होगा.
हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत.
Actually में it is not possible to teach CFA as well as the statistical modeling within a 2 hours. Okay. Firstly, we need to be understand the particular theory as well as the uh, definition of various uh, statistical properties which we can which associated in the CFA and LCM. Okay. Second, you need to be how to interpret the particular data. So interpretation is very easy. If you have particular output, then you can easily interpret because there is clear cut criteria to analyze the particular or analyze the particular data, and out you need to be uh, simply explain this particular output. Okay, like ABA value criteria, CR value criteria, okay, or simple critical ratio criteria. So you need to be compare this particular value to the cutoff value or threshold value. Okay, so whenever you apply CFA or SEM, firstly you need to be develop a very robust model, structure model. Okay, which is basically justified by the various previous researcher, or you can add some other construct in your structure equation modeling for create some novelty in your model. Okay, so theoretical background must be strong before applying the structure equation modeling. Okay. So basic of the particular theory as well as the previous research literature, you can able to develop a particular model. Or sometime various researchers apply previous researcher model in some new uh, industry or new particular phenomena or new geographic boundary. It is also relevant or maybe up to mark. Okay, suppose like if you talk about the TAM model or maybe uh, unified technology adoption model, various researchers apply this particular model in different scenario or different industry perspectives. Some apply this technology adoption model e-learning perspective, or maybe uh, maybe a banking industry perspective or adoption of e-payment system perspective. So it is up to mark, but the theoretical background must be strong and clear. Okay, so any question?
Saurabh sir, if you are done with the session, so can I just like stop the recording?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, sir. Okay, okay.